Hi Capricorn. This is your Scorpio season November reading, and I didn't want to rush these readings because it is heavy. This time is heavy. We are still right in the middle of eclipse season. Still a lot to go through before the end of the year, or the Gregorian calendar ends. I am finding some softness in this time, so my voice will most likely be soft throughout this. I also want to let you know that you can check out the extended reading to this extended version of this reading on Patreon, which will be in the first link below. And then all information to work with me one-on-one is also there. This month is, right from the start, is asking for your strength, for your conscious strength. Not just physically, but it looks like internally more, which is more important. There may be a part of you that doesn't feel like you want to be tamed at this point, but knowing when to speak and when not to is all about Mars and Scorpio. Especially if you're unsure or doubtful of a situation. You may have begun to go through a process in which you're seeing how whatever it is that you're wondering, daydreaming about, it may be, even if it's not tangible all the time or at this time, then there is this moment that has come where you will see what it is that maybe has been holding you back. It's not something maybe you've been aware of until this point, right? So don't be hard on yourself. It's not your fault. The eclipse is really just gonna make a change. It's about, especially about the way you think, maybe even about the way you process. Because you could feel like, well, if I'm going to be gentler in this moment or more quiet, reserved in this moment, this season is having you understand the difference between a daydream, a goal, and what maybe you're holding on to that's in front of or taking up the space of that next step. And then if there is someone in your life, could have Leo placements, but someone who maybe constantly easing your mind even though you feel doubtful about something or about them or about a specific way in which they act towards you, right? You feel doubtful. This could be that you are seeing some of these patterns or subconscious patterns, like we all are, come to life a little bit. And they may just be saying things that you want to hear and you want to make sure they're not, but you also want to make sure that it's not in your head, right? So this eclipse is going to show you what's true, what's real. Maybe some things you don't want to hear or never intended of knowing. But what you do know is that the kind of love you want to experience, the kind of temperature of a relationship that you want to experience, or of life that you want to experience, is now coming into your doorway. It's very clear that what's showing up now is they're not just saying the things because to cause drama, even though some people would say that. It's really just to awaken or have you become aware of something that maybe you just didn't know and you really do need to know. There's something you really need to know about the situation, from the 3 of Cups to the 6 of Cups, that you want not only to enjoy and be with the people around you, but you want to be given the kind of love or the kind of commitment or the kind of reciprocation that you've been asking for. And it may not be that you're actually asking outwardly about it, but it's something that you've been thinking about, something you've been going over in terms of what do you want in your relationship, what's important to you now. And what's revealing to you is that you can have this emotional stability. That in the beginning of the month, yes, in the beginning of the season, it can be a little rocky. The eclipse sets the tone, right? Then we enter right into it all. And you may not think that you've been given the chance to prepare, but that was the preparation, that feeling. It's learning to become aware and getting to know these different nuances of feeling when we feel like things are a little earthquakey. And whether or not you're ready for a change, it's coming. It's coming for all of us in all different ways. And in this moment, it's about how you receive what is being delivered to you. Whether you want to hear it or not, whether you want to believe it's true or not, that's not the point. It's how you receive that information and what you go about with it, how you go about your life with it afterwards. It's very clear that the way that you think, the way that you've shown yourself, the way that you've operated, strong Leo energy too, by the way, very strong. This is revealing to you that the free-flowing movement or the ease comes from taking a look at these maybe patterns that have been stubborn or a little bit more difficult to move on from. You need to give yourself what it is that you need. You may receive this from others, but it still has to be this internal cycle. You have to constantly continue to give yourself what you deserve and what's important to you, whether it's the people you're around, whether it's the kind of food you want, whether it's no matter what it is. And this season, it's so easy for this season to give you so much tea, to give you so much to work with. There's a lot of cups out here. So especially right in the center, and then we end it with the Temperance, and you'll see it more in the second part. But this indicates very strongly, especially once Saturn goes direct, your ruling planet on the 4th, is that things will be a little bit more structured. Even if, again, you're hearing things you don't necessarily want to hear. If there has been news of infidelity, it's something that you may feel strongly about. So again, it's how you choose to respond to what it is that you hear, no matter what it is this month. It's not just this one this one message. And it makes you aware of how you handle things, how you handle emotional situations. If you're someone who tends to go cold, you may find that you're moving through the warmth of it. You're moving through where you don't feel as cold, where you feel more softness. But with that softness, I was just writing about today, you're always going to meet that sharpness, because when you're so soft, that's when you feel things so sharply at the same time. So this vulnerability that you can be experiencing, it's very clear, it's very out there. But the main thing about this is that what comes from this is a love that has fun, that has an emotional balance where you can hear each other out. A love that maybe feels like you're a kid and you enjoy, and you allow each other the freedom and the experience. Maybe it's looking at it like that, Capricorn. Maybe it's about letting those parts shine a little bit more this month, knowing that the emotional world is where we're really taking a look at, and where all these cups are coming into play. That you can take that cup, that one cup, and move forward and find abundance there. It's trusting that. It's being able to appreciate that and then also from there offer that and receive it. It's very much this give and take. And your strength lies in knowing that everyone's breaking a pattern. You're breaking these, we're all breaking patterns, but your pattern has to do with your responses to situations that actually do affect you. Whether it's in a positive or a negative way, it's being able to, more than anything, hello, my kitty. My kitty came up here. He is just, I love you. I love you, kitty. Sorry. My little baby. He's just so big. Can't always have him up here. Whether or not you are dating, or if you're seeing one person, the way the interactions go, the ones that click or the one that clicks is the one that has the ability to go back and forth and have that fluidity that you so need right now. Sorry, just want to make sure this is steady. That you really do need right now. And there's so much warmth in the heart. And there's so much that you are, when you feel the love the way this reading is breaking it down, you realize maybe not exactly why you had to go through what you've been through, but how that experience has brought you where you are now. And the importance of that, I would say. All right, Capricorn. Remember to give yourself the room to process if you need to. Give yourself the room to correct yourself if you've said something and you want to add to it or change it. Being fluid with this time will help you not be so rigid with what you don't know and then what's yet to come. And that's all enhancing the intuition of this very deep water season. If you are thinking about volunteering or doing or offering anything in a way that is different than you already do, and even if it is for money, I can see that also happening this month. Putting your, wherever you put your energy into, you're bound to see a fruitful experience, because you have this ability to be a little bit more detached and objective towards the end of the month. And we'll get into that into the next part. All right, Capricorn.